In today's engaging conversation, I had the opportunity to discuss the profound impact of affirmations, gratitude, and maintaining a positive mindset with Michelle Kinnett. This is Michelle's second guest host appearance on the show, and I am super excited to have her back. We had great conversation last time, and we had great conversation this time. We underscored the significance of consciously choosing to focus on the positives in life and how this can bring about a remarkable transformation in your perspective. During our conversation, we highlighted the power of words, emphasizing that we can reprogram our minds to seek out opportunities and positivity. We also explored the concept that practicing gratitude and affirmations can serve as valuable tools for personal growth and overall well-being. I'm super excited to welcome back Michelle Kinnett. Are you in a new season of your life? Are you stuck and searching for clarity so you can make a career change? Do you just need the courage to switch careers? Are you ready to follow God's plan for your career? Welcome to Choose Your Next Yes. Hi, Kindred. I'm Mel, a career transition coach, mom of grown-ups, coffee lover, and God girl. I've had a lot of big life changes, and I haven't always been clear about God's plan for me. This led to stress and anxiety and a lack of clarity and courage to make a career move. I finally started listening to God's voice to find clarity and peace and stopped being scared to make a move and achieve my career transition goals. Now, my mission is to help you learn to listen to God's voice and know when to say yes to the career you've always wanted and no to everything else. Let me show you how to clarify your purpose and find courage to pursue your personal and professional goals in your midlife and beyond. Throw down your self-doubt, dust off your dreams, Kindred. It's time to reset and refine and reclaim the woman you once aspired to be. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm your host, Mel Vandevort, and I have my first repeat guest host today. I have Michelle Kinnett, and we are going to be going in a little bit of a different direction today. We're going to be talking about self-care and mindset on this episode, and I'm going to let Michelle introduce herself. I know that some of you may have already heard who she is, but I want anyone new listening to know who she is and what she does. So welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be back. Thanks for having me back.
I'm super excited. We just had so much content from last time that I just needed you to come back and share some more bits of knowledge with us. So welcome back.
That's awesome. Well, for those who didn't get to join in last time, I am Michelle Kinnett. I was a stay-at-home homeschool mom for 19 years and still that. But after 19 years, went through a divorce and totally changed the trajectory of my life. And I found myself facing the reality that life was going to be so much different. And it really took me on a journey of discovering who I was and how I could move forward and provide for my family. And in that journey, I turned to God because I didn't have anyone else. And He really allowed that season of what felt like nothing to take me down a path of discovering who I am in Him, who He is for me. And in that season, after discovery, it gave me permission to really step out and own my potential and what I really wanted to do in this world, and gave me my purpose and the ability to live that out. And so now I'm happy to be in front of other women, encouraging them to live to their fullest potential.
That's amazing. I love that. And you said that you had no one else to turn to but God. While God does want us to talk to people, be with people, be mentored by people, mentor other people, ultimately, He wants us to come to Him for everything. Mm-hmm. And He is a jealous God, wants our attention, and He wants us to lean on Him when we have nowhere else to go. So You were doing
Absolutely.
you were doing exactly what he wanted you to do.
Absolutely. And, you know, even through that season, I had counselors, I had godly counseling, I had spiritual mentors, I had family, but ultimately, no one is within you. It's up to us individually to find that power that is within us and to utilize it in order to create what we're here to create in this world. No one else knows or has the experiences that we have, the
Mhm.
desires that we have. And that is all put there by the Lord. And until we take the time to tap into who we are and discover that for ourselves, we're really just chasing everyone else's dreams or what the world has crafted for us and not necessarily
Yes.
what God has crafted for us. So it definitely, He is the answer. And the answer is within us because He has created us.
Yes. And I actually just released an episode a while back called Are You Rocking the Faux Look? It was about that very thing, stepping into your own purpose and finding what your own purpose is and not trying to mimic someone else. You're never going to be at peace. You're never going to feel fulfilled if you are trying to fill somebody else's purpose or do something that someone else is doing that God did not design you to do. You will never find joy. You will never be truly happy.
Yeah. And then that leads us to always feeling like we don't measure up and comparing with someone else. And then we're never enough. And we're not designed to be that way. We are enough. And
Yes.
we just have to tap into that in order to find that satisfaction.
You are God's masterpiece and he doesn't make mistakes and he created you exactly the way he wants you to be, ladies. So never feel like you are not enough because God always looks at you as being enough. It's us who thinks we aren't enough. It's us who have that. I am terrible about that sometimes. I will have that mindset that I'm not good enough. Or, when I very first started coaching, I was like, I don't know if I know how to be a coach. I don't know if I have anything to give women. I don't know if I have value to offer. He will give you what you need, and you already have what you need. You just have to take that action, move forward, and step into that purpose with that mindset that he wants you to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So previously, when you and I had talked before, we had talked a little bit about rest and meditation and being your best self so you can step into the purpose that God created you for. And talked a lot about the fact that I suffer from anxiety and I've had depression in the past and I haven't always been my best self and I haven't always leaned into God and I haven't always just been that peaceful person that I know that he wants me to be. What kind of words of wisdom can you give my ladies who maybe are at that point where they just are not at peace? Their mindset is not where it needs to be.
Yeah, so it is, I mean, it's a daily battle, right? For us to find that grounding and be able to have that peace or to be able to let go and let God handle the
Mm-hmm.
things that we face. We always want to take it back from Him. It's our human nature to, feel like that we need to be in control. And that tends to lead to worry and anxiety because we don't know how it's going to turn out, or we might feel overwhelmed because of all of the outside circumstances that we have when really it's the thoughts in our mind that lead to the overwhelm or that lead
Mm-hmm.
to the anxiety. I
Yes.
mean, oftentimes, I mean, you do have the hormonal differences that, changes in our lives as well. There are medical things that can compile on top of just the normal thoughts and worry that we have or that trigger it. So I don't want to say that this is the only thing that you need to consider, but this is
Exactly.
something that definitely a piece of the puzzle that once I started implementing this into my life, it was a tool that helped me a great deal. Just being able to, when I can see that my mind is running and I'm anxious about everything that I need to accomplish or the things that I feel like are not being done. I mean, how often do we're trying to go down a path, a certain path. We're trying to make something happen. It's not working. And then
Mm-hmm.
we get anxious about, well, what is it that I'm supposed to do next? And I keep trying, and we almost feel like we lose our personal power.
Yes.
Um, because we're trying, right? And it's just not working out. And it feels like it's bigger than us. And I think that if we can start our day, and oftentimes, I don't necessarily start my day this way, but I do it throughout my day when I feel that sense of overwhelm or I feel anxiety about a situation that is happening or that's going on. And I can just turn my attention towards being still and just breathing and
Mm-hmm.
settling in and grounding myself.
Yes.
One of the key things is affirmations, and affirmations are,
We all have
uh,
background noise and it's totally fine. One day I had the doorbell ring and nobody ever rings my doorbell, but I was in the middle of an interview and the doorbell rang. It's
I'm going to
totally
shut the door though, because
Yes,
hang on.
sounds good. Sounds good. While you're
Okay.
doing that, I'm going to follow up on a little bit of stuff. So, you had said, that it's only one way to go. Definitely. And we always want to ground ourselves in God and we always want to seek him first. But definitely, and I am a testament to sometimes you need something else to help you with that. And until you can get to a place where anxiety doesn't affect you, or if you are in a very deep, depressed mood, I can't even talk today, or a place in your life, you need to seek outside help and not just wait and hope that it gets better. Because I'm going to tell you that I got to a very dark place in my life in my past when I had some severe anxiety and a very severe depression. So never think you can't seek outside help, because there are medical professionals who can help you with that. And sometimes there is a chemical imbalance, especially when you are at the age that I'm at with menopause and stuff. So I just wanted to lay that out there for the ladies who maybe think that they can't seek that outside help because it's not what God wants. God didn't create doctors without a reason. And so they know what you need and they can help you with that and
Hmm.
get that under control so you can get to the place where you can receive what God has to give you and help you through that.
Yes, absolutely. And in any time that, well, the seasons where I have gone through just the hardest points of life, I've always reached out to counseling. I've always
Yes.
reached out to mentorship. I've always utilized medical help to,
Mm-hmm.
look to see if anything needs to be addressed from that standpoint. And it's just in the process of dealing with it in my day to day routine. Now I
Mm-hmm.
have a tool that I've learned how to breathe and how to just settle myself and
Yes.
relax
Mm-hmm.
and let it go for a
Mm-hmm.
minute.
Yes.
I've learned how to release everything that I'm hanging on to and just be able to not feel like it has to be worked out in the moment.
Yes.
It's something that is there. It's
Yes.
something that will continue to be there as I figure it out, but I don't have to worry about it right now. And
Yes.
I can let that go. And I have used tools of meditation. I've used tools of breathing.
Mm-hmm.
I've used tools of journaling. So there
Yes.
are different aspects that we can go to that will help us to release everything that we're hanging on to.
Yeah.
And
And
I
I've
think
had
that
to do
that's
that
very
with my
important.
own anxiety before too. And I still have anxiety, but I know how to manage it much better than I used to in the past and work through it so it doesn't bring me to a place that I can't be functional.
Yes, absolutely. And learning how to tell ourselves the truth. I think that is so important. I think it's really important that we learn to recognize the thoughts that we're having
Mhm.
and be able to tell ourselves the truth. And we often talk about affirmations. We see it all over the place, and they do work over time. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the most important thing is when you have an affirmation, when you have something that you're telling yourself every day, you have to believe it. You have to believe what
Yes.
you're telling yourself. You
Yes.
can't post something and say it over and over. I mean, it would take years for it to change your brain, because your brain knows if you're lying or not. But telling ourselves the truth is very important, and affirmations are very important. So being
Yes.
able to be very specific about the affirmations we choose to tell ourselves, and if it's rooted in truth and rooted in scripture, then we know that we can hang on to that. And one of the things that I tell myself, especially in the season of change and of struggle at times, is that I'm at the right place at the right time, and God is directing my steps. I can
Mm-hmm.
let this go. I can trust that He's working where I am not. And moving forward, that just helps me release all of the pressure that I'm carrying everything, that it's all on
Mm-hmm.
me, because it's not. We are working together with God to create something, whatever it is in life that we're creating. And so being able to release some of the pressure of carrying the entire load ourselves, that it's all on us. He has created us, just like you mentioned that we are a masterpiece. That verse goes
Yes.
on to tell us that He has created us to do good things that He planned far in advance.
Yes.
And we tend to
Exactly.
worry so much about what we're doing and what we're supposed to do, instead of just resting and living from the heart and living from purpose and finding that inner strength and power that's within us. That's where
Yes.
our power lies.
And this is exactly the episode that I'm supposed to be recording this week with you, because just yesterday or the day before yesterday, I was listening to a message from someone else, and they were talking about, and it's funny, it's the reticular activating system part of your brain. And when you were talking about those affirmations, saying positive things will create this pathway in your brain to actually believe those positive things. And the more positive things you say, the more positive things you believe, and the more positive actions you create. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're a negative person, it's deep rooted because you've always said negative things or you've always done negative things. So you have got to affirm yourself and speak life, speak truth and speak life, rather than speaking the enemy's words to yourself. And we do that.
Mm-hmm.
Women
That's right.
especially, we tell ourselves we're not good enough, or we can't do it, or we're not going to be effective, or whatever we say to ourselves. It's a lie from the
Mm-hmm.
enemy that we believe, and we repeat it enough that we don't even need him to tell us that anymore, because we're telling ourselves that. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to get to that growth mindset spot where we are saying, and I say this to my kids and the teachers that I coach all the time, you can do it. We can get through this. Let's create a plan and work through it. You are good enough, and we can do whatever we need to do to get you where you need to be.
Yes, absolutely. Words are powerful.
Yes.
And it's not that I can't do it, it's that I am figuring it out. What
Yes.
can I do next? And
Yes.
oftentimes, all the time, actually, I tell my kids this so often, is that, life runs on parallel tracks, and there's
Mm-hmm.
always a good and there's always a bad. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you choose to see? We get to choose to see the good in what we're experiencing in this life. And the more that we choose the good over the bad, then the more our
Mm-hmm.
brains will see that and look for opportunity and see opportunity. If we tell
Yes.
ourselves that we can't, and we're always looking at the negative and always looking at the bad, that's all we see. We don't
Mm-hmm.
see the opportunity. But if we can choose to look at it as this happened, that is good, then we continue to be grateful, which is a
Yes.
huge
Yes.
shift in our thinking and in our hearts. When we are full of gratitude, changes the energy that we carry, and we can focus on the positive things in our lives and
Yes.
not the negative.
Yes. And I encourage my women to write down their 10 things of thoughtfulness every day. What are you thankful for today? And it doesn't have to be big things. I am thankful. I lost a pound today, and I am so thankful because I've worked really hard to get to this place because I gained some pounds and I lost a pound, and it's motivating, it's affirming. And I was very thankful for that. And it can be anything. I have things in my refrigerator that I can use to help me on the path that my health coach has given me. And so I'm thankful for that. Just look around your house, your apartment, when you're at work, whatever it is, be thankful for 10 things every day to start
Mm-hmm.
you on that path of that thankfulness and that positive mindset.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And write it down.
Yes, absolutely. I told them get a journal and write those down every day. And then you can see what's the word I'm looking for? Because my menopause brain is stepping in, like progression, I guess is the word, of where you've come from to where you are as you're going along. I'm keeping a weight diary and a journal of my macros and all of that kind of stuff on my phone. I have an app, and it helps me see that I am making positive strides in my health, which has also helped my mental clarity and all of the things that I've been struggling with. Those are affirmations that help keep me motivated and help keep me going. All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed all of the content so far, and I will be back on Friday with part 2 of my conversation with Michelle. And I hope that today's show was a blessing to you in some way. May the Lord bless and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift you up and give you peace. Bye-bye.